I want you to look at that laptop screen and realize that the blinking cursor isn't the problem, and neither is your intelligence. When you find yourself trapped in that loop, reading the same 3 lines of an email, reaching the end, and realizing your brain didn't record a single syllable, you are witnessing a biological survival mechanism in real time. This isn't a character flaw or a sign of early onset memory loss. It is your nervous system performing a hostile takeover. You see, the human brain is a masterpiece of prioritization, but it has a very specific hierarchy of needs. At the top of your brain sits the prefrontal cortex, the executive suite, where you handle logic, planning, and reading comprehension. But tucked deep inside is the amygdala, your ancient alarm system. When you are under chronic stress, that alarm isn't just ringing, it's screaming. It floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline, and those chemicals act like a signal jammer for your higher thinking. Biologically speaking, when your cortisol levels stay peaked for too long, your body decides that reading a work memo or processing a spreadsheet is a luxury you can no longer afford. It begins to shunt blood flow and glucose away from the thinking brain and sends it instead to your muscles and your primitive survival centers. Your brain is literally starving your executive functions because it thinks it needs that energy to keep you alive. This is why your focus feels like a flickering candle in a windstorm. The decision-making center goes offline because your biology has decided that analyzing is less important than reacting. You are stuck rereading those lines because your hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for turning short-term focus into long-term memory, is being suppressed by the very hormones meant to save you. You are trying to process data while your brain is trying to survive a perceived predator. The deeper tragedy here is that we often respond to this cognitive fog by pushing harder, which only increases the stress and pours more cortisol into the fire. It's a feedback loop that leads to what we call cognitive narrowing, where your ability to see solutions or understand context shrinks until all you can see is the failure of the moment. You feel like you're losing your mind because, in a very literal sense, yourself, the logical, capable person you know you are, has been locked out of the control room. Tomorrow, we're going to peel back another layer. We need to talk about the emotional erosion that happens next, because when you can't trust your brain to read a simple sentence, you start to stop trusting yourself. We're going to look at how this physiological shutdown begins to rewrite your identity, making you believe you're incompetent long before the world ever notices a dip in your performance. We're going to learn how to unlock that control room and bring the real you back online